What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. And how to start this? I just watched a pretty good video on obviously trying to get amped up for the gym. I just hit a couple days in a row of just nonstop going, nonstop pushing, nonstop getting after it here in the gym. And today, out of all days, today's day 21, so it's the last day of phase 1, and pushing myself pretty hard the last 2 days with the bike, with the swimming, fueling myself enough today to get this workout started and this workout finished. Today is a 70 to 85 minute zone 2 run. So just trying to keep a good pace, trying to keep the heart rate down, and just trying to set myself up for success. But I think I do want to read a little script just because of how it hit me, how it resonated with me. And TikTok has everything it has for whatever moment you're in. So however you're feeling, your content is, guided towards that, whatever videos you're starting to like. I mean, that's what I've noticed for my feed anyways. So I'm going to try to read this. I'm going to try to read it super nonchalant, and I hope it resonates with somebody, like how it resonated for me. So, talk about the importance of nothing. You get up every day, you're entitled to nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. You could have talent, but if you don't have discipline and if you don't execute, you don't focus, what do you get? Nothing. If you're complacent and while paying attention to detail, what does that get you? Nothing. So nothing is acceptable but your best. Everything is determined by what we do, and you trying to be your best so you can build on positive performance. That's what we have to stay focused on. That's what we need to be. And watching that video, obviously, with like the music, how it was actually put together, like hits a little bit harder than me just reading it, obviously from the script that I wrote down, because I literally watched that video, I wrote it down word for word. But I mean, it hit me because like how I took it and what I took from it is just everything is literally all the effort you put into everything, right? Trying not to be complacent and just living day by day on how you're living in a comfortable position, right? Because like anything can happen at any moment. You could get hurt at work and now you're off work, and how that affects you returning to work could play a big impact, right? I know when I was at my previous job at MFE, that's where I worked. So for people that know MFE, but that's where I worked before, and I got to a good place to where me being quote unquote young, I just turned 30, so, but just, I started there when I was 24, and it was really good money. It was a union job. It was a subcontractor to PG&E, and just growing with the company. I mean the company was already built, so like I just helped in whatever I did, right? So like I grew with the company, and I grew to be how I am now. My mindset, everything that I took from that, everything I took from that job, I've applied it to everything that I've been doing since I left. The people that you meet, the conversations you have are always, in a sense, the same conversations you have every single day. right? Like as a foreman, for the most part, right? A day for day as a foreman. And I'm not saying it's easy and I'm not saying it's hard. It's just, this is just what I did. You get to the yard, you check in, you have your morning meeting. Morning meeting, you make sure the guys go out to the field, you follow the guys out to the field, you make sure the guys are doing their job. You pre-plan for the next day, you talk to homeowners, you talk to customers, you do walkthroughs if you need to do walkthroughs, you talk to pole inspectors if you need to talk to pole inspectors, talk about trees, go visit other crews. And for the most part, you kind of do that, you set yourself up for success for the next day. At the end of the day, you get to the yard, you check them out, you leave, you head home. For the most part, I did that for about 5 years. And I remember me specifically, I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed absolutely every moment of what I did because of the people that were around me. You know, the operators that I had around, the project managers that I had around. I enjoyed absolutely every moment of working there. There was some hard times, you know. I've went through 2 layoffs working there, and it just hit me because the last layoff that I went through, you know, I was married. I had a kid on the way. Maybe Noah was already born. But either way, right, either I had a kid on the way or a kid that was already born, and I got laid off, and it hit me, right? And it's not to say that they did it on purpose, because obviously, to my knowledge, the conversation that I knew, it was just work was dying down. It had to happen, right? So that's where it kind of hits you, right? Because from being quote unquote super complacent, me being there for X amount of years, getting hit with something and not having a backup. And now I think even at this current job, right? Like, I'm still a subcontractor at PG&E. I'm more on the back office stuff now, but I'm constantly looking at PG&E openings. I'm looking at PG&E jobs. I'm looking at available jobs. And it's not because I don't like what I'm doing, where I'm working, and I don't like what's going on. It's just I did learn and I did adapt to having a backup plan to not put myself in that position. And I think it all goes to, like, no matter where you're at, you still obviously want to give 100%, because that's what I did every single day when I went to work. Even when I was planning on leaving, even when I put in my 2 weeks, I still showed up. I did my job, because if I didn't do my job correctly, people are there to notice, right? Because project managers are in the position that they're in because of what they do. But, like, people call you out, you get caught up, you got to get your stuff together, right? You got to get lined out, and that's just what happens. And so always showing up, always getting ready, always being prepared. I mean, even during this journey, it's showing up and putting in the work. Because if I don't come in here doing what I'm supposed to be doing, how does that help me for the long run, right? How is that going to help me the next day? I'm not setting myself up for tomorrow. I'm setting myself for right now to get to tomorrow. I have to get this workout done and marked off and completed and done the right way, so I can move on to the next day and progressively progress myself to the end result, right? So just being disciplined and doing it, regardless if I'm happy, unhappy, if I'm not feeling it, if I'm feeling it, it's the same thing. It's showing up, coming in, getting the work in, and even if we're not perfect, we have to be perfect. We have to get in and get after it. And yeah, that quote that I listened to just hit me in a different way, right? So maybe I took it out of context. Maybe I took it in a way that it wasn't even meant to be, but that's just how it hit me, and that's how it resonated with me. So So that's just how I felt by it. So yeah, just go in there, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going after, just get in there and crush everything and put every effort into it. Because if you don't think anybody's noticing, I guarantee you somebody's watching and somebody's observing and somebody's paying attention to all the effort you're putting into. Whether it be at the gym, whether it be at work, regardless of where you're at, where you're starting, or how long you've been there. Somebody's noticing something. Somebody's saying something. If you listen and you don't like it, is a different thing, but there's people everywhere. Regardless if it's to hurt you, to help you, it's just know that whatever you put your name on, whatever you work on, it's all on you. You're gonna be the example that you set, and you're gonna be the image that people look at when your name is attached to something. Me and the council went to go help out a family member, and we cut down some trees. I think we did a good job. We stacked up the wood on how I liked it, and when I worked at MFE and everything that we did, I stacked it a certain way to make it easier for them. They said countless times that it didn't have to be perfect, that I didn't have to put that much effort. But my name's attached to that. And now that they see, hey, these guys did a really good job, they know who did it. So, put that into perspective. Don't know if that was too motivational, but yeah. So, day 21, end of phase 1, starting phase 2. Tomorrow is a very well-deserved, well-earned rest day. So, I'll be resting tomorrow. But yeah, going after, gonna do a 70-minute to 85-minute zone 2 run. So, hopefully I'm out of here before 10:30, but it's about to be 9 o'clock. It's 8:50. Yeah, let's go dominate this workout.